being in the UK, when we talk about homosexuality, because of how the society is conditioned, I don't care if someone's like, I've been programmed not to care about that.
Yeah.
So obviously, and in our culture is very frowned upon, right? So, but for me, I'm choosing to mitigate that because I felt like I've been influenced by here and all that. So my question is, having this mentality, do you think I'm just as a Nigerian being in Nigeria, or is a Nigerian UK different from a Nigeria culturally?
Exposure differentiates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
But
more
does that make it the same thing, or does that separate it?
It separates
Separates
them.
it.
Yeah. So like a typical Nigerian will frown upon anyone being atheist or nihilist, all those things, you know. But I mean, when you live here for just 3 months, you should be able to sit down with a nihilist who feels like life is useless and relate with the person and be like, well, I think you're making sense. I don't agree with you, but it makes sense. But I doubt if out of 10 Nigerians you like 10 local Nigerians you can pick out one, or let's say you can pick
how
out
would you
two
define
to say,
exposure? Because what if you come here, you understand it, but you still don't agree?
I'm not saying you need to agree. You need to just be
Understand.
aware that they are like.
That's key.
It takes so much awareness for you to know that China has a population of over 1 billion people, and over 80% of these people feel like there's no God. If you would be aware of that, probably all your shoulder that you are raising to say, oh, my God is the best and stuff, probably you will think 3 times whenever you think about that. Just awareness.
That's wild though.
There are so many other people who think differently from you, and they also feel like whatever they believe in is the superiority. If you seem to be aware of this, like come to the UK, you go out, you see someone who feels like A, B, you probably see like 26 different thinking in different ways. The way you think would immediately be affected. Probably don't agree with them, but you won't be thinking the same way as you used to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we see it a lot, and there's a lot of like kind of change when people come here to the UK. And for example, if you use like Nigerian movies, the way when I was in university and people kind of like attract themselves or push themselves towards like Nigerian movies or Nigerian music compared to when I was in Nigeria, it was a bit different because you're in a kind of different space. People try to say, oh, let's listen to the hip hop, let's listen to the rap. But in Nigeria, these same people or similar people would always be attracted to the music. So I think that because of how society has evolved, is because it's in a situation where people have to kind of relate to what is in front of them. If you get what I mean. So
to the original question, like, who is the consumer in this situation? The minorities or the non-minorities? Like in the change of consumer behavior?
The minorities are the consumers.
So does it change the behavior of the consumers to make them want to consume more of those representations?
Yes, that's my own idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it probably does, because people like to see themselves represented in wider society. So seeing themselves being represented obviously influence their behavior to be more consumptive of that information or entertainment. However, whether that consumption is beneficial to them or not, I feel that's a different conversation. Because they can be consuming more, but they are consuming more of the wrong things for them. You get what I'm saying? Even if it's still them being represented. So take, for example, you could see the portrayal of certain minorities on screen. In stereotypical roles or in roles that kind of influence or portray certain stereotype in their head of themselves. So it might not necessarily be in the best position for them to actually be represented. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it might actually just be beneficial if they're actually not represented. in order for them not to be represented poorly.
Yeah. See, for me, like I find it so weird. Like recently in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
They like to make the black woman so masculine. Like it's so. I don't understand the obsession in that. It's so weird. Like the black woman has to be this strong. Like I'm like, bro, no.
Yeah.
Like it's such a weird. Like it's such a weird fantasy. Like